I'm going to begin by doing a reading from the language of letting go, and I picked a reading from November 7th. Relationships. There is a gift for us in each relationship that comes our way. Sometimes the gift is a behavior we're learning to acquire. Some relationships trigger healing in us, healing from issues of the past or an issue we're facing today. Sometimes we find ourselves learning the most important lessons from the people we least expect to learn them from. Relationships may teach us about loving ourselves or someone else, or maybe we'll learn just to let others love us. We don't have to control this process. We'll understand it when it's time. We also trust that the gift is precisely what we need. Today, I'll be grateful for all of my relationships. I devote myself to the lesson and the gift from each person I meet in my life. I will trust that I, too, am a gift to other people's lives. I wanted to read that because tonight we're going to concentrate primarily on how do I develop a healthy relationship with myself. You heard me say this about 44,000 times. The ultimate relationship that we have in life is the one that we have with ourselves. In reality, it is the only relationship that we have. All other relationships come from the center, the core, the energy inside of us. And that's why it's really important to begin to understand the concept of relationships. See, I've learned over and over again that only until I do my work, truly begin to build a sense of myself as a person, then I have something to share with others. But the energy from my core will go out to others. See, I've learned this a long time ago. Every time we try to find a relationship or find people, we don't find them. We find trouble. But when we basically learn to let things happen naturally, things happen beautifully. You got to be open to this process. And so tonight what I want to do is I want to go through a process and take 3 different stages. I want to concentrate on describing what a healthy person looks like. There actually is a diagram of what a healthy person looks like, believe it or not. And then basically when I'm done, I want to talk about how that diagram, if it's unhealthy, what it looks like. Then I'll talk about how we get from unhealthy to healthy, the process we go through. I read about that tonight in the concept of the process. To do this, I want to do an analogy. I want you to visualize taking a stone and dropping it into a pool of water. When the stone hits the water, it forms ringlets. The first one is small and strong. The second one gets wider and weaker. And as it goes out, they get bigger, they get weaker and weaker and weaker until eventually they die out. Keep that visual in your mind. When we talk about developing a healthy relationship or a healthy sense of ourselves, what is a healthy person? Well, to truly be healthy, we have the following qualifications. Believe it or not, there are qualifications for being healthy. And so that core, that center, that stone is solid. So think about these principles and these qualifications to be a healthy person. The first one of the most important ones, is to have an open mind, to be open to learn, to be open to grow, open to new things, open to diversity, and have this inquisitive mind that constantly wants to experience and go through new things in the course of our journey. And as a result, they then become part of us, become part of our heart and our makeup. And we learn and we grow from all the different concepts of things that we experience. So that open mind is a very powerful concept. Along with that is something called our spirit. Our spirit is the part that makes us who we are. It's our uniqueness. It's our specialness. Believe it or not, each one of us is different. Each one of us is unique. Each one of us is a character. Congratulations. And the bottom line is we're supposed to be characters because our personality traits, who we are, it makes up the concept of our personhood. And that is so important because at that core and that center we have to realize our spirit is our uniqueness and our specialness. What I love so much about this is every person we meet on the face of this earth, negative or positive, is unique. They all have different types of things we can learn from. And as a result, growth can take place. So the process is we also, if we're healthy, we have the gift of acceptance, one of the greatest spiritual gifts there is. Acceptance of self and acceptance of others. And acceptance is a core spiritual gift. Because everything in life comes down to acceptance, and along with that comes adjustment. So everything in life is in process. So I get this excitement inside of me when I feel healthy that I'm really coming to an acceptance of myself where I am in my journey in my life today. It goes back to those things we talked about. We talked about positive inventory, asking ourselves those spiritual questions. Who am I? What am I all about? Why am I on this earth? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Each one of us has a purpose. Your purpose for right now might be just to be here. But our purpose changes daily. It's our concept. Do I love myself? Do I have a sense of myself? Do I have this feeling of love for me? And if I truly learn this is the weirdest things I've ever heard in my life. When I finally learned how to fall in love with myself. Sounds very egotistical, doesn't it? But it's not. It means I'm building a personal relationship with me. Getting to know me is getting to love me. It's that old beautiful song. The concept of it is. And so as I get to know myself and get connected to myself, I begin to develop my spirit, my energy. And that's what my spirituality really is all about. And I get excited about this because I truly believe the foundations of our recovery program are based around our personal growth. They're based about healing, about forgiveness. I'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes. We also, if we're healthy, we have this energy inside of us. I call it the energy of love. This powerful, beautiful gift. And all these things are given to us at the moment of our birth. They're built inside of each and every one of us. Sometimes we forget we have them. We have to go back and refine them. Why? Because we're stubborn. We have that hard-headed disease. We're human beings. We got to always do things the hard way. Got to beat ourselves up and then surrender and go back to the basics. It's amazing, isn't it? It's so much fun to be human. When you're human, you have to give yourself a couple good Excedrin headaches, go a little bit crazy, try to figure it out, try to control it. Then all of a sudden, you learn to let it go. And then all of a sudden, it starts to happen. It's that old saying again, you have to learn to get out of our own way. But if you're healthy, you feel good about yourself, you feel comfortable being you, you're living within that realm, then connected to you in the first circle around each of us, that little strong circle. We have people in our life referred to as significant others. They are very, very, very special people. There are people in my life that I feel safe with, I feel comfortable with, I can be myself with, I can let my hair down if I had some. And the bottom line is this whole concept that I have this trust level. Normally speaking, we have in our lifetime maybe 2, 3, at the most, and I'm stretching it, maybe 4 over the course of a lifetime. These are referred to as very special people, very special individuals in the course of our journey. Notice I didn't say 1. If you only have 1, you'll burn the sucker out, you'll kill him. Therefore, we need people in our life and our journey. So I realize I need to have those core people in my life. As I'll share with you later, doesn't necessarily mean family either. There are people that are a special part of our journey. They're connected to us. I think the most important thing in the world in that circle are people I feel safe, I feel comfortable with, and I can totally be myself. The next circle are a group of people referred to as friends. Now we have different circles of friends and different levels of friendships at different areas at different times of our life. That's a constant process that's always ongoing. When you were in grammar school and you were a child, you had a circle of friends. In high school, you had a circle of friends. In college, going through different areas, they keep changing. The bottom line is I'm learning how to have boundaries with my circle of friends. Even in recovery, I have certain areas of friendship. For example, I came into recovery through Al-Anon. I then from Al-Anon went to AA. From AA, I went to ACOA, and then Dakota. And then I went to OA, and now I'm connected with EDA, Eating Disorders Anonymous. So my journey has taken me to different circles of friends in different areas and different concepts. This past Sunday, I had the opportunity of sharing at a meeting at the 400 Club, the AA Clubhouse. And a whole bunch of people there, and I met people that were my circle of friends 20 years ago that were connected in different areas of my life. It doesn't mean they're gone, they're around. They also realize I look at them in world, well, a starting point. I see different circles of people who have touched me at different times in different parts of the journey in the course of our journey in life. It's all part of the process we go through. So these circles are changing. The neighborhood you live in, you may have a circle of close friends. You may have a circle of close friends, at work. The bottom line is we have these different little communities, things we connect with, we're part of. The most important thing is we have to learn two principles: boundaries, how to set boundaries, and secondly, not to go around self-disclosing. Just because your neighbor in the morning says, "Hi, how are you?" Please don't do a fifth step with the poor sucker. You'll scare him half to death. You'll drive him crazy. Don't do that. But see, sometimes we have this disease inside of us when I'm very insecure. I want to tell everybody everything about me all the time. And then basically, why am I doing that? So there are some people I can talk to about that, some I can't. I have a bunch of guys I hang out with at the gym in the morning. They're some of my closest buddies. I love them. We have a lot of fun together. I don't discuss recovery with them. They're not my recovery community. They're my crazy gym community. They're the guys I can cut up with, I can have fun with. I can laugh. We have a good time. So we have different circles of friends at different times in the course of our journey, always realizing we can't control, we can't possess. Those circles will change. Even in recovery, circles change. Friendships change, part of it. So if you're healthy, you're open to new friends, new circles, new concepts, new directions. The next circle are people referred to, I have a nickname for these people. I call them time people, T-I-M-E, time people. These are the messengers. They'll come into your life for a short period of time. They carry a message. They don't go home with you. Some of them may, I don't know. The bottom line is they carry a message. And those messengers can come from some of the strangest places at the strangest times in strangest environments. The other day, a lady was walking her dog right outside my house. Never met her before. I went out there, said hello to her. I said, "How are you? Beautiful day." Asked her about her dog, pet the dog for a while. And she said, "I know you from someplace." I said, "Yeah." "Where were you born?" I said, "In Camden." "In South Camden?" "Were you a priest at church there at one time?" And then on and on with the conversation from there. And I remember something you said to me a long time ago. back at Lady Mount Carmel Parish in Camden. I don't know. But the beautiful thing was so neat to hear that. So you never know when you're carrying a message to someone, you're connecting with someone. You never know what's going on. It's all part of the journey we go on in the course of our journey in life. And that's why we got to realize the fact messengers are all around us. We call them time people. You may see them on TV. You might get a message from one of the strangest places. Somebody comes along you never met before. They connect with you. It's just amazing how this process works. And so we have to be open to that. But also remember that we need people in our life for our growth process to take place. I want to stay healthy, then I have to realize where these people are on my journey, to accept them where they are on the journey, and then realize the fact that some may stay on the journey, some may move to a new direction, go in another area. It's all part of the journey. Isn't that great? Find people. Thank God for them. They are the messengers. The next circle is getting pretty big now and pretty weak. We call this circle acquaintances. Now, if you're healthy, you probably have 1,000 acquaintances. People you say hello to, you say goodbye to, you might wave to them, you might meet them at work. You don't really know them, they don't really know you, and that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. They're just basically acquaintances. I may have a conversation with them, but nothing on a heavy level or a deep level. Simple little things. I look at this, many of my family members are basically acquaintances. Even though I love them, I'm close to them, but they're only my acquaintances. And I get to go visit, they're not around anymore, but I used to visit my aunts. I go visit them and I sit with them, have a cup of coffee, and we just have small talk. Talk about their bunions, about their knee replacements, about the neighborhood, about the local gossip, what's going on, back and forth. We call that acquaintance talk. I call small talk. But see, we have to learn it. Here's once again, boundaries, discernment, where people are. It's okay for them to be on that journey. It's not your job to convert them, to fix them, to do this or do that. They're just part of your journey. And finally, one more big circle. It took me 46 years to finally realize I was allowed to have this circle. If I'm healthy, there are people in my life referred to as enemies, unhealthy people. See, discernment means I can sort through things. There are people on my journey I've got to stay away from. They're unhealthy. That's okay. I can set a boundary with them. I can pray for them. I can wish them well, but I have to let them go. They're not part of my journey, not part of my life. So as I get healthy, I work on being healthy, I am able to say where people are, where they're not in my life. You might find out someone you think is your significant other might just be a friend, might just be an acquaintance. That's okay too. See, we won't put people to realize where they are on their journey. Let them be where they're supposed to be, not where I decide they're going to be. And that's what's important. See, our control issues can drive us crazy. But if you're healthy, you have to learn to let go of control, turn things over, be open to new things and new directions. Now, if you're unhealthy, guess what? You have no core, you have no center, you have no spirit. There's an empty hole inside of you. As a result, you mix everything up. Significant others, friendships, this kind of stuff. You have no boundaries, everything's all over the place. Your life becomes chaotic and it becomes crazy. And that's what happens a lot of times when basically I'm just out of control. See, I really believe the core of a good, healthy relationship with yourself is your spiritual foundation, your spiritual base. Even the founders of AA said that. They always tell us to work the steps properly, to do growth properly. Steps 1, step 2, and step 3 are the foundations of our program, the foundations of growth, acceptance, faith, trust, belief. All these things are basic and fundamental. Now, how do we get somebody from being unhealthy to becoming healthy, be able to develop some of these core things in the course of our journey in life? Now, remember, I said this back in the beginning. This is a process. It's not an event, and it's not magic. It's a beautiful phrase, in one of my in my eating disorder program, in one of the readings that we do, and it says, recovery is hard work. It's not magic. Growth takes time, takes effort, takes investment, and it takes a community to raise a child. It takes a community to do a growth process. And that's why it's not just one thing. There's no magic. You want magic, go to Magic Show or go to Disney. The bottom line is there's no magic. There's magic moments. Realize the fact that recovery, growth, personal growth is an ongoing process, one day at a time, till about 60 years after you're dead. See, the process continues even after you die. It's just a learning process about yourself. Do you ever want to be done? I don't want to be done. And why do you want to be done? There's always something new to learn, some place to go, another experience, different people. You learn from different things, time, people, all these things are part of the journey. So it comes down to my attitude. And so as I work the recovery program, the growth process, I work on developing a sense of myself. And that's why I say this to you all the time. I look at the 12 steps. Here comes my prejudice. I got to get my prejudice out. Hope you don't mind. I truly believe that the 12 steps are one of the greatest spiritual programs on the face of this earth. There are 12 simple, basic principles that will teach us self-love, self-awareness, self-discovery, beautiful sense of ourself as a person. They are a formula for personal growth. But sometimes it takes more than that. It may take some therapy work, some experience work. I joke about this a lot. I say, if I had the money I spent on therapy over the years, I'd be a rich man today. But guess what? I am a rich man. I'm a rich man because that money I spent, I invested in my personal growth. I invested in my learning process. And I don't want to give back any of it, and I still go to therapy every 2 weeks because I have more to learn, more to experience. My therapist is working with me now, working through some fear issues. I got to tell you a bit of a funny story. And my therapist, she's very persistent. I love her. But she's been telling me for a long period of time that when I go on hikes and things of this effect, I should get a walking stick. Well, my ego tells me, well, that's not really this and that. Yeah. Well, guess what I bought the other day? I have my walking stick now. I love it. It's a real damn. I got it on Amazon. It's pretty fantastic. So I went for a walk in the neighborhood the other day. It's pretty neat because you can walk a lot better and a lot faster with that sucker. It's great. But see, why do we have to do it this way? Why do you have to be stubborn, fight it, battle it? I don't need it. And then we come to that beautiful thing called surrender. Now, that was beautiful when I said surrender. I said, no. I said, Carol, just go ahead and order the damn thing. When I got it, I said, oh, gee, here I go. And then when I used it, guess what? It felt great. I wish I had it earlier then. Doesn't that go for all the things we experience, even looking at the concept of personal growth? There's so many little things that happen that the growth processes. I look back on different things in my life. Norm, my first sponsor, way back in 1976, giving me a mustard seed, telling me to plant it, telling me to work on this. Sponsors over the years telling me, take it easy, grow a little bit at a time, try to learn something new every day, Take your time, go slow. Everything in life, growth is such a beautiful process. But again, we have to go through a healing process. So I look at this concept of personal growth from four perspectives. A little bit at a time, I have to learn to be more honest with myself and more honest with others. Now, will you ever be totally honest? Now, be as honest as you can be wherever you are on your journey in your life today. That's enough. That's all you can do. See how simple that is? Well, we temper honesty with love. It's not about being brutally honest. It's about being honest, doing the best I can do. And that, once again, it's a growth process. It involves trial and error. It involves making mistakes. It involves growing. We all have what I call our recovery scars. I call them battle scars. We have our memories. We have things we've gone through. And many times you've done what I do, look back on your history and you say things like, for my buddy Urkel, did I do that? Yes, you did. Look back and say, ooh, why did I do that? Because that's where you were at that time in your journey. So we learn from the past. Don't worry about the future. We live in today. We learn the lessons and we grow forward. That's what we mean by growth. As I grow as a person, as these things happen inside of me, my spirit comes alive. I begin to celebrate and enjoy who I am, celebrate people around me. The journey opens up doors in new directions. It involves faith. It involves belief. It involves realizing the fact that somebody else is in charge of this whole thing, not me. That's the beautiful part about it. So we learn a little bit here, a little bit there, a little growth. That comes with faith. It comes with belief. It comes with trust. It comes with openness. It comes with getting honest. That's where inventory, different things come into play. Healing, making peace, making settlement. So another beautiful thing in life is to realize the fact of having this gift of humility, of learning, to have a sense of humor, be able to laugh at yourself. Even when it's not funny, it's okay. Humor is part of the journey, it's part of life. It's some of the crazy things we experience as part of the journey. You know, I'm really getting a kick out of everything now. Love being around young people. Of course, they're weird. I love them. They do a lot of crazy stuff. They're unbelievable. And yet I love them because they got this new energy, this new concept, this new direction. One of the reasons I speak at the 400 Club every so often. I like going there because a lot of young people go there. And boy, I tell you, the way they dress, the way they act, the things that connect, I get jealous sometimes, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to try a pair of those jeans on. They have all the rips in them. Of course, my mother saw me, she'd have a heart attack, but that's okay. The bottom line is, I figured, but they're too damn expensive. So I have to go to the thrift store and get a scissors. And I'll create a pair. Maybe I'll wear that to the next time I go and speak and see what happens. But see, to be able just to have some fun with this and have a good sense of humor, open up doors. It's the funny part of it. There was a guy there the other day with real long hair coming all the way down. And I in the middle of the lecture, I said, anybody got a scissors? I said, I need some hair. Give me some glue and the scissors. I take some of his, I'll put it up here. So I went down, I hugged him. We had a lot of fun. That's what recovery really is all about. It's having that energy of just being able to celebrate the people that are around you and be able to learn from people that are different, that are coming up. And that's why God gives us these gifts, these people in our life, these time people, these teachers, people in that direction. It's amazing. I was so amazed the other day when I was at that meeting. I had a gentleman there that I met 42 years ago in recovery. I had a kid there that I met last week in recovery. I had the two ends of the spectrum. And both of them are beautiful. They're all connected together. They're all family. They're all part of one another. And so there's that energy of healing, making peace with the past, learning from it, growing from it, and realizing the fact we have to learn to stop beating ourselves up, to go on this journey of self-discovery, this journey of learning, this journey of discovering new things. That's why personal growth, personal journey is ongoing. The Serenity Prayer tries to draw that into us. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I can't control life. I can't control another human being. I'm not in charge. I have to stop playing God. I have that beautiful saying on my wall, and I love it. It says, please, I'm driving the car. Stop being the backseat driver. God's in charge. He's the driver. Get out of the back seat and stop trying to tell him how to drive the car. The bottom line is I have to learn that something out there is guiding me. That's where faith comes into play, openness comes into play, all those things we talked about in that core of building a healthy relationship with myself as a person. It is the energy that comes from that. And your spirit is what's remembered. That's why I believe that no, we don't die. Our body gets old, the body dies. It's just a casing, that's all that it is. It's what's inside. It's the legacy, it's the spirit. It's the people I've touched, the people you're with in the course of the journey. You never even know where they are or where they're coming from. I got a phone call today from some guy. And the slightest idea who he is. He said to me, I know you don't know me. Thank you. He says, can I ask you what you're thanking me for? He said, well, I live in Australia. I said, oops, okay. He said, I just watched your YouTube. Thank you. Okay. And then I said, mind if I ask you your name? He said, Charlie. Not that Charlie up there, but just Charlie. I said, okay, Charlie. Have a good day. Thank you. I'll probably never meet him again. But just for a couple of minutes, I got a chance to be a time person for someone. You never know where it's going to come from. In my mind, I kept saying, how the hell did you get my YouTube in Australia? But I guess that thing is, you can do all this stuff now. You probably do anything now for what the hell I know. I don't know. But it's all part of it. I even have WhatsApp now. I talked to a beautiful lady the other day who's in my eating disorder group, and she lives in a place called Nova Scotia. I talked to her on WhatsApp. I never got a phone call on one app before. Now I got another thing in my phone called WhatsApp. It's adventure. It's something new. It's another direction. Something else to open up to. To be honest with you, this stuff half scares me to death sometimes. It's so gigantic. And yet, I got to take what's good, let go of the negative stuff, use it in a positive way, be open to new things and new directions, and be open to a process in the course of life. That's what it's all about. You know, it's amazing. I got a phone call the other day from a guy. I still got to call him back. He said, we would like you to be part of a speaker jam. I have no idea what a speaker jam is. But I said, sounds interesting. So I'll give him a call. The speaker jam is going to be with speakers from all over the world coming together on a Pacific day and speaking at different times about recovery. Okay, sounds good. I said, we have to travel, do we? No, it's on Zoom. I said, okay. So I'm going to talk to him and get together and figure something out. I don't know. Be another adventure. What can I tell you? We'll see what happens with it and go in that direction. But that's the fun part about life. So go back to the core. Look at yourself. Look in that mirror. And realize you are, every one of us in this room is unique. Each one of us is special. Each one of us has these energies, these spirits inside of us. Each one of us has to be open to them. Remember, it could be a very simple little thing, a little bit at a time. We'll have gifts, we'll have talents, we have individuals, to share them, and above all, don't hide them. Let them come out. Let your spirit come out. Let your energy come out. Because I'll tell you, your energy is what speaks to others. I learned the other day, animals, they understand it. They're beautiful pets. They understand spirit, energy. Children understand it. We're adults. We get confused. We have to go back to being a child, go back to simplicity, go back to basics, go back to fundamentals. So tonight, I really want to concentrate just on that concept is each one of us has a journey. Each one of us has an obligation to work on our own personal growth, to do it a little bit at a time. It's not magic. Don't look for somebody on the outside to do it for you. Nobody can. It's your journey. You can learn from others and grow from others and get messages from others and experience things here. Everything you're going through in life, you're supposed to go through. It's all part of your growing process, your learning process. Congratulations. Each one of us is unique. I love that. So don't be afraid to be a character. Characters have some fun. What the heck? And sometimes we have dry humor, we have wet humor, we have all kinds of crazy stuff. We don't know what that's going on half the time. I don't care. Just enjoy it. Enjoy life. It's to be celebrated, to be lived. And don't worry about whether you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. You're doing it in between. There is no right, there is no wrong. Just do what you can do, and that's it. It's my prayer tonight that every one of us will be open to learning, to growing, to work on ourselves, to experience new ways and new concepts, and just be able to have that energy and that spirit of life. And keep that energy, keep it with you. Because even though your body might grow old, maybe you can't do things, maybe you got to hang on to something. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't make a difference. What's more important is, what's your spirit all about? What's your energy all about? I've seen people with terrible disabilities have very positive energy about life. One of my favorite people, Dr. Gottlieb, who had a radio show, beautiful man. I've seen him go through tremendous tragedy. I knew him before and after his tragedy. And I know one thing about him. The man has a beautiful spirit, a beautiful energy, and he's so much fun to be around. And he's funny too. He has a lot of jokes. A good friend of mine has dry humor. I love that. He knows how just to kind of shoot a little shot in there every so often and get a kick out of it. I see some crazy people on the screens right here who have a great sense of humor. That's what it's all about. So get that smile back on that face and realize we're on God's journey. We're connected. We're together. We're all part. We're family. And because we're family, we support one another, help each other on the journey. And my prayers every day, we grow a little bit more each day. And a little's enough. I learned that a long time ago. If I grow that much today, it's called progress, not perfection. Just do a bien, my father used to say, a bien. Take your time. Go slow. A little bit here, a minute. Keep it simple. So let us pray. God, we come before you as a family tonight. We come before you in love. We come before you in spirit. We come before you to open our hearts and our minds to be able to experience all the gifts you send our way. We ask the God of our understanding, our higher presence, to be our guide, to be our strength, to be with us and share with us. Thank you for all the messengers, the teachers, the people you send into our life. Give us the strength to work through our struggles, to work through our hardships, to work through different things in the course of the journey. Teach us to be able to walk in this world, but to walk with peace and serenity. Try not to get caught up in all the craziness and the insanity. Teach us, Lord, to grow, to learn. Our personal growth is the most important thing we can do on this journey, because from our spirit, teach us also to be of service to others, to share with others, and just to celebrate the gift of who we are. And so we pray in a very special way tonight that gift inside of each and every one of us can be nurtured, developed, and above all, shared. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for life. Thank you for this day. And thank you for the journey. We pray for you, ask for your guidance and your strength each and every day. We pray for it in your name. Amen.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.